Mentioned the surveillance video sheds some new light on this story, but there are still disputes over what's fact and what's not confirmed.
Team 12's Bram Resnick is verifying what we know about the officers involved. Bram?
Yeah, still a lot we don't know. We've been working to verify the identities of the officers, their experience, and who was doing what in that video. Two officers confronted Javon Ames and Aisha Harper in this parking lot. But according to police, only one of the officers wrote an incident report on it. We verified that officer is Christopher Q. Meyer, a 24-year veteran of the force. Police haven't provided the name of the other officer in the video. A spokesman says he's been on the force for 1 year. We verified both officers have been moved to desk jobs. Meyer will collect a $73,000 a year salary while police investigate the incident. Social media has been lit up with allegations that the officers turned off their body cameras and a dash camera. This Twitter post got tens of thousands of retweets. We verified that neither officer had a body cam, nor was there a dash camera. Their precinct hasn't been equipped yet. Now that will change. Why didn't they have cameras?
Because we began the process of rolling out cameras in April and we hadn't gotten to that precinct yet. So what we're doing is we're shortening the time frame that we're beginning the rollout. We have over 600 cameras out there right now, including this precinct where this happened.
The officers union, the Phoenix Law Enforcement Association, issued a statement calling for calm. Until the investigation is complete, we are in no position to explain, based on our opinion, every moment of the video that has gone viral. We hope reason and calm will soon become part of this community conversation. And here in Phoenix, it's the city manager who hires the police chief, not the city council. A spokeswoman for city manager Ed Zerker tells 12 News that Zerker continues to have confidence in police chief Jerry Williams, and he looks forward to hearing from the community at tomorrow's town hall. Tram, Joe?
And erring on the side of the officers here, they may have had a reason to be defensive if there was a pursuit involved. Then they get to the parking lot, and one of these officers may have been a rookie cop.
Yes, so this is one of the questions. There was a rookie cop involved and a 24-year veteran, as I pointed out. The question is who did what. The investigation, please tell me, is still in its early stages, so that they've had a bit of trouble sorting it out. But as of now, that video we saw in Michael Doudna's package with the officer pointing a gun and screaming vulgarities at the Aisha Harper, that was the rookie officer. We saw another officer kick the legs out from Javon Ames. That was the veteran, Christopher Meyer.
Do they give evidence as why they believe someone may have had a gun?
So in the report, the only report we have that was written by Christopher Meyer, he says in both cases involving Javon Ames and Aisha Harper, it appeared they were making motions that suggested there may have been a weapon in the vehicle, which is why they were taking such precautions and perhaps acting so aggressively.
Some would argue for sure. All right, Bram, thanks a lot.